I want to bring in Jon Allen now. Mr. Allen is a former Canadian ambassador to Israel and Spain. Hello there. Good to see you again. So let's begin with your reaction to this decision from the ICC's prosecution team seeking these warrants for Hamas's leader Yahya Sinwar and Israeli leader Benjamin Netanyahu. What does this mean?
Well, first of all, I want to say that I don't think that the charges that these are somehow parallel indictments are true. These are not meant to be parallel. They're meant to indict these leaders for very different things. On the one hand, it's pretty clear that what Hamas did on October 7 justifies both war crimes, crimes against humanity charges. As long as you believe what happened. And of course, there are conspiracy theories that suggest it didn't happen, which of course I don't believe. But what the charges against Prime Minister Netanyahu and Defense Minister Gallant relate to the prosecution of the war. The ones that are more likely to be upheld are those regarding starvation. There was a siege imposed for 2 weeks, a complete siege at the beginning of the war in Gaza, and there have been allegations demonstrated by photos and by UN agencies that humanitarian assistance has not been allowed to reach the Gazans over the course of the 8 months of the war. That's the charge I think that Israelis have to be most concerned about. On the charges of murder and extermination, there will be a defense of self-defense and of the difficulty of operating in a very dense urban environment, and Hamas being everywhere without uniforms, etc. But the charges of starvation as a weapon of war could stick.
For Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, this comes at a time when he's already facing international condemnation from the war. He is more isolated, perhaps now than ever. He's got problems within his own cabinet. So how seriously do you expect him to take these charges? And does the ICC have any jurisdiction over Israel?
Well, Israel is not a member of the International Criminal Court, nor is the United States or Russia, for example. But there are 128 states that are members, including Canada and all of the EU and the UK and Australia and New Zealand. And all of those states, including Canada, have an obligation, if this warrant is approved by the judges of the International Criminal Court, they have an obligation to arrest those for whom warrants have been issued. So if Prime Minister Netanyahu or Defense Minister Gallant were ever to visit those countries, they would be subject to arrest. And the countries concerned would be in violation of their obligations if they didn't do so. So his travel, other than to the United States and to some other countries, could well be restricted if this were to go forward. This happened recently to President Putin when they decided not to host a meeting in South Africa, because he is also indicted under the International Criminal Court, and South Africa is a member of the court, and there was concern that if he went there, he would have to be arrested.
Jon Allen, we'll have to leave it there for today. Mr. Allen is a former Canadian ambassador to Israel and Spain.